Shun.
What are you doing on it?
Oh, I'm being recorded. I got my phone stolen last night through my window in my bedroom.
What?
Yeah.
That's
intense.
awesome.
I woke up at 2:30 in the morning and suddenly I'm like, what the fuck? Where's my phone? And I like tore up my whole room thinking it fell somewhere. And then I looked at find my iPhone. I'm like, oh, it's in San Isidro. That's cool.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really scary actually. I'm like, what the fuck? How did like what? And then I like looked around and I saw like the 500 mil clones in my truck that was just sitting right outside my house, totally unlocked. I'm like, that's weird.
Wow.
Sometimes they look for what they think is the easiest thing, but they don't even know what's the easiest.
Right. Yeah, let's just open the window next to this sleeping giant and take this like shiny new iPhone instead of just kind of like looking. They probably thought like the car would have like an alarm or something. I don't know.
Mhm. Well, we got maybe like maybe everyone who's coming, or I know that potentially Forrest was going to make it, but wasn't sure if it would fit in his schedule. I know that Karina was gonna, I just got a message from her. She can't hear really well, but they're gonna try again a little bit. All right. I guess because right now where they are, it's a bit noisy, but Karina will be great to have here today because she's been really been helpful as far as sharing updates with the municipality, with design, and helping with communication there. She already has a good relationship with some of the people part of the municipality.
Yay for relationships.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as with updates with, I guess, everyone that is here, I'll also just share it with the intent of just sharing it, this video with anyone that wants to hear it. Right now, some updates for the recent present is that we have with Toma Bar, the school that I've been working with, they're wanting to potentially donate, giving us 8 to 10 more large tarps for rain cover for when we get to the point where we're starting with covering key areas for rain protection. And then also we've gotten Floristral interested in donating both materials and potentially funds for the project, which I'm going to be talking with them later today. And we also have right now the a donor who is a printing company in San Isidro, who her name's Susan, which I think is really cute because that's my mom's name, and she's actually worked on on the design, the logo. I can maybe add that to what we're talking about. It's essentially she's going to sell shirts like she usually does, but have some with the logo and something it says on the back. Right now, it says, "With love, we discovered more," and um, and that's kind of one of the final sentences in the declaration of play round project. Initial.
It's really hard to catch everything you're saying. It's like very, very staticky. I'm hearing like sometimes I'm not really hearing the words that you're saying. I don't know what.
Close it and try again. But it shouldn't. But usually it's not staticky. So maybe I could close this meeting and then reopen it and see if that works, and then send a new invite.
You can't just remove yourself and hop back on.
It's possible. I think it's the only thing is that I am
You're holding it all together.
holding it all together as the host.
Ah. Okay.
Let me see if I can just do something like a test, or check out my audio settings too.
I'm wondering if it would be better if I turned off my video. If that somehow makes everything better. How does that feel?
Perhaps. How does it sound now?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it got a lot better actually. No. Can you hear me really smoothly? Do I sound smoothly better or what?
You sound good.
Uh-huh.
I can definitely see if I lower background noise suppression, if that changes anything.
I can understand like 80%.
That's good. What was the last thing that you heard? If you want, I can just keep going and see if that works. Just the with the printing, I was trying to see if I can get the picture real quick, onto maybe so you all can see on the chat. Because right now I just literally got this image just a few minutes ago, and it's really cute. But essentially, she's gonna sell these shirts on her Instagram, and then also she's going to if I can like pre-order some, and then whatever is bought, 50% goes to her and 50% goes to us. It's they're expensive t-shirts. They're like $36, but it then goes to a good cause, and it also supports a single mom who's basically making custom t-shirts. So let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Make that go. We'll make that go right here. Put that in my pipe right there. Put it over here. Let's see. It should then. I think I can just put it in the chat. Let's see. Where is the chat? Oh yeah. Put it in the chat.
I think we should welcome Samsung SMT 225.
Oh, wonderful.
And I heard Toronto Krishna Das was gonna be hopping on soon.
Say what?
Sir Toronto Krishna.
Is that for real?
Yeah, he's on his way.
Hello. Who is this?
Hey, it's Elisa. I'm over here in Texas.
Oh, awesome. Hey, great to have you here, Alyssa. Woohoo! Hey, Lisa!
I see it as my alias name. I am now discovered.
El Phoenix.
Oh,
Nice.
No one look up New York Post articles. No one.
Everyone, this is Elisa from Toma Bar,
hey, Lisa from the bar.
who's interested in potentially
Hi, everyone.
supporting with possibly creating an option for supporting creating more tarps for this project. Oh, as you can see, I opened up a whiteboard so that people can share some if there's any been designs that others have come up with that they can add to potential design concepts that can go forward with the future of the design. I will share shortly the let's see, I think it's right here actually. This is the new the T-short.
T-short.
I think it's this. Well, that's a web capture. Where's the WhatsApp? I think that's it. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a screen capture. That'll be easier. Add this to the right here. Boom. Check this out. It's a screen capture. So as you can see in this image I share, it's I'm in the chats. It's the image of the shirt that the local lady wants to make for us to sell and make some extra.
Oh, that's incredibly sweet.
Yeah. It's a part of that love. That sentence is part of the end of the kind of the mission statement or a kind of part, I guess, our declaration of what it is that we intend to do.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Click to open.
I'm following.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
now I'm
One
following.
more, we discovered more. We discovered more.
Mhm.
So this is all in the past.
It could be that, you know, I might, because before it was with love, we will discover more. I mentioned that. But if anyone likes it better this way, I'm also willing to consider it that way. Because
Yeah,
kind
it
of
can always
hijacks.
just be kept simple for sure. You know, fun and
Mhm.
more, we discover more. No past tense, just we discover more is fine.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe it was like an intention of like, you've already succeeded. Like, you did it with love, you've discovered more. But yeah, I think yeah, it can even
Oh,
just be with love.
like if it was like an event, I don't know. I'm just like, okay, yeah. So we went to the playground or we went to an event and it's like, yeah, we discovered more with more love at when we went there. And I don't know. But I just didn't really understand.
So
I think you may have been listening to that new Rihanna song. That's literally a verse at the end, discovered.
I gotta play it. What's the song called?
I got hold on one second. I'm on my way home. I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm not gonna sing. You don't want to do that.
Please. Okay.
so I would kind of wanted to potentially open soon with a possibility for some a round of questions for everyone of things that you would like to know or things that have been um you would like to maybe see that we could draw out, or anything that any type of clarifications that then help set your compass in the right direction, or help you decide how you'd like to be involved. And if anyone would like to start first, we could do that. Or I was just gonna guess based off who's on the left of this or line of people that I see on the top. I was just gonna have Alyssa go first, but
I just made it to my destination. I'll go midway.
midway, nice.
I'm on the left on my screen.
Oh, okay. I guess it's relative.
Yeah.
It's based off each of our perspectives. For sure.
Right. So my perspective.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really yeah, I mean, we talked the other day. I don't know exactly how my involvement would look like. But really I'm very happy to support, and you know, I personally, like, I'm really into the idea of doing like a lot of plants and having like natural forms of play, like natural structures, you know. So like having things like vines growing or things like that, like I know that takes time, but like eventually, like I feel like it would be really incredible and special. And having like really fun like fruits like mamones, because kids get really excited with mamones, you know. So just have like just all like a shit ton of mamones. And yeah, things like that, and allowing for the general like community of like permaculturalists to be able to put their fingers in, and allow kids to find fun and joy in that, you know, in the planting and the food stuff, because I think that's super fun. But I think that there's a way to construct it so that like there, you know, down the road there can be like little tree houses built, or like little swings built on like a lot of natural structures too. I think that'd be really cool. Something really unique, or like, I don't know if a zip line is really like a playground kind of thing, but you know, you could have like a mini zip. I don't know.
No, it is. It is. Sorry, I heard the last bit of it. No, it is. I saw like a miniature version of that, the zip line at a park, at a couple of them.
Yeah.
It can
It's
be
more
done.
like, it's more straight. It's not really like down. I've seen one that just like goes
Yeah.
across straight, so you're not like zipping down 50 miles an hour or anything, you know.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it went along straight, and then they had one that was ADA too. Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. I think it's really good.
Yeah. And I remember when I was talking to Jeremiah that like there was some talk about like having like a climbing wall of some sort. Or even like, you know, what I'm sure you guys have already talked about with Fernando about like his like little structures that he builds, the geometric structures. And I saw that at Casa Rio, and I was just like, yeah, that's super cool, you know. I would love to see something like that. And he was also talking to me about having something like that also wasn't like super finished, and having vines, like an Aya vine growing through it, and then like over time the bamboo will disintegrate and all you have left is the vine, you know. And so like you have this whole structure of just a vine that like over the years just hardens, and you just like climb it, and it's the shape of whatever the bamboo is, you know. Some really cool geometric shape.
Yeah.
So I like these things, and I think I could help, create these. I'm happy to lend a hand and putting these things together, and trying to source whatever materials. I'm not really like a builder, but yeah, the farming stuff, and then what we were talking like down the road, eventually I would love to get like logs of different like kind of native mushrooms growing, and have like walls of mushrooms there. I think that would be cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of beautiful landscape between the primary rainforest that kind of surrounds that area. It might be secondary, but I think it actually maybe even Gabby might be able to share clarity on that, because she knows actually more about the surrounding property as she purchased it and is part of Project Ka, and has some really interesting things I know that she would love to share also.
There was one
Yeah,
other
but
thing.
Dave,
There was one other thing I wanted to. There was something that I remember seeing at a pumpkin patch several years in California, and it was this long path that had like that metal like fencing that they use in concrete. They call it like Maya here. I think they call it Maya, and you just have the arch, and you have vines growing, like flowers and stuff growing through the arch, you know. So I feel like you go to like you see those McDonald's play places or whatever with the tubes and stuff like that, and I think that we could create like a really cool like jungle gym, um play maze thing with more like natural things and vines just like growing up and around and through, and I think that would just be like super magical.
Mhm.
I would love that, and I
Yeah,
think it's entirely possible.
definitely. Yeah, I think a lot of things. What I really appreciate is a lot of things you also describing, even with like some of the geometric shapes that Fernando can definitely provide in his designing, and help with creating a playground space on it on the on this property that we could definitely end up just sharing something that is really possible in the first phase of the construction of this project. Because it's with bamboo, which we have um, people that are donating bamboo and will be willing to donate more depending on the design, that we can then really just get started with a design that, with also rain coverage, could last a good while.
I think that like I saw something with the structures, like a basic layout with like a lot of big structures with like tarps, and I was having Fernando help me with the design for a structure behind my house here over concrete, and as I saw like a 3D model of it, I realized that there's so much space between. There's like a medium level before like the roof starts, and then there's the roof, so there's like a space between, and it's like bamboo. I don't know if you guys were talking about doing like bamboo structures or something, another material, but just for like for an area for like people to just be underneath, just the general structure itself could be a play structure, you know um and it just needs like a little bit of extra reinforcement to handle weight, and potentially like some kind of like a netting if like little kids are climbing up there, but like honestly, I just think that it's so fun to climb up bamboo structures, and you can climb up the ladder, and then you could just like, you know, there could be cool things to make like noises and like old pots and pans or whatever. And it could be like a musical area or whatever. But yeah, I think that would be really awesome to have play areas underneath the structure, and then have the structure itself be like a big jungle gym too.
Nice.
Nice.
Mhm. Thank you. Is there any other questions you have, or anything else you'd like to share, or I can move it on to see if anyone else would like to. Does anyone want to add to what he's already talking about? Yeah.
No, you really cut out.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that I think is important to note here is that this entrance, so the Play project is the entrance to a larger project that's part of Project Ka, which is like an enchanted forest with really large installations that we're working with Fernando to create this, just this walkway where people can go in and be, just be witness of a change of narrative for the environment, like where we want to prove through art that humans leave an embellished footprint. And so I think it's really interesting that this is the section from which people go in, and it's like a gathering space. So whatever is more conducive to connection, whether it's a jungle gym or a place for a picnic or a place to play, but this is where people gather. And then there's this like mystical experience that happens on the land all the way to the river. And so, yeah, I think that all of the above, I think it's just important to stay an understanding of how much land there is to work with, especially that Fed is going to be creating geometric structures all throughout the paths inside the forest. And he's really adamant about like being paid for what he does. So I don't know what how you're thinking, babe, on like the volunteer money, or is it all volunteer, or is it like there's a certain budget that we get from donations that we pay certain people, or how that works?
Mhm.
And because I know that for him, like, I don't know, maybe just discuss with him, but I know for us, he needs to get paid for that. And I don't know how much the bamboo costs, but then also the labor material to get things done.
Mhm.
Also, the thing that comes up is like involving the community in building the buildings, obviously not just the volunteers, but the local community, so that and it be documented. Like in my wildest dream, we're documenting this from the beginning, even if it's like rugged and just from our iPhones, but like we're taking as much content, and then we'll be able to like tell the story of how, like, even in this meeting, even like this these moments, we're not like we're just getting started, but these are the moments where the seeds are being planted, and then it grows into this like majestic thing that is not just play, but like the center point for like Florestral, Ka, Neighborhood, all the communities, the locals and stuff. So yeah, that's it.
I can add something on the payment to Fed. To Fernando, I think that I can work something out with him personally to match half of like his service quote. So that wouldn't be materials, but that would be for whatever he's charging for his services. And I think I can match to cover half of that.
Wow, thank you, Yoni. Mhm. That's a beautiful proposal. Yeah. I'm sure.
No.
Oh, sorry, who is that? Who was just speaking?
Me, Karina.
Hey, Karina.
Yeah, I have been hearing like a little bit and these last things. I'm a little bit lost, like really like from the structures and the design that in somehow we view like months ago, like when we were in the place with Jeremiah, that like because right now in the structures I see, I don't know, I'm a little bit lost over there. I don't know if everything just changed and it's just opening now like to do new ideas of what to be over there. And something that we still have like to be aware is also like where how the waters go, how the runs. Like there is a place over there that normally get a lot of water because it's a groundwater over there, like una naciente de agua. So there's something that also like we have to be noticed from this place. From donations and things like that, since like the beginning there has been also like collecting with friends that can be working with that. I know that Fernando, he will be more, available because if he receive a part of also like from his job, because he's also like putting attention like where he puts his energy because he's also taking care of her daughter and things like that. There are other friends like Rodolfo, and there is like also there is Jeffrey. That these three ones are workers with bamboo, and they do like awesome structures, and they're open like to be just working like volunteer in some part. Also, there was Esteban like giving like this donation of bamboo, but we're still not like really like manage where to have the bamboo or where not to have it, and it's time to receive it or not to receive it. And I'm still also like aware of how many bamboo we have because I heard that also like this one that it was receiving you Shani Ray with I forget his name, the one of Morpho 2.
There's
But
some from Shelby. We already have 11 pieces from them that are available, and then we have and like 5 of those are guadua that are nice and thick, and then we have about 30 pieces of smaller bamboo that is a donation from Merlin and Tegan at my place. And then also neighborhood has shared that they were willing to donate more if the design that we have requires more bamboo. And then as far as if you want, I can answer more of the questions you've laid out, or if you want to just keep going, you can.
no, I think that it could be like mostly just that. And also like these already like some kind of structures and things like that. I think that we can talk really like just a meeting with Rodolfo because he works really fast. Like his mind with the bamboo and structures and also like thinking in playgrounds for kids normally. He goes really quick with that. And he can be just like waiting like us to say like, yeah, okay, let's do it now.
Beautiful. Yeah, definitely I could I noticed that he joined actually the chat today and checked it out for a second and then left. I was like, oh, he came in and he left. I'm gonna have to, I guess he got my personal message and joined, and I definitely wanted to reach out to him and understand if like if that means he's like just not 100% yet or just checking it out. And but yeah, I would love for him to be part of it. I know Jeffrey is also already has told me that of course he would like funds for this, and I kind of I've put out to him, you know, the initial idea with funds that we have so far, that it could be something of a stipend for maybe up to a team of 5 to 8 people, with it being around $100 to $200 for, you know, and it could be something where it's just that's for 1 month and of commitment, and that being also decided on with people how many days a week that would be, and then also getting a percentage of whatever money is earned through donations, being anywhere from 20% to maybe 40%, and still just seeing what feels fair. But yeah, that is been the you know, once I more clear on who comes and steps forward and feels really inspired by design so far, we can go with that. But also, I see that Forrest is here. One thing I really love about what Forrest has shared is, you know, they also, some of the first things we do is just preparing the land itself, and that being either, you know, looking at the way, yeah, water runs on it, as you said, and, you know, designs that I've thought of is, you know, potentially a trench or a way for water to flow out of the space that then like irrigates it and then allows us to plant along the edges of that area, like swales or something along that, and then even maybe, you know, incorporating that into the design of how maybe there's a trail, for example, that goes around the property, that it would dance around those swales in such a way. And then even having that be part of the experience of this outdoor education center of inspiration, of how we incorporate nature into our designs, and sharing then this space with both, like, you know, billboards that are sharing the way, the process that has been done, and then also information like signs for plants that are planted around the edges that educate and share and help people learn what, you know, the process is from point A to point Z, just like Gabby's also wanting to, you know, see is how we share the story, not just with like necessarily just these signs and maybe on the land itself, but also through the video recording of the whole process, which I'm very excited to take that role as, you know, not necessarily being in charge of building, but have been in charge of fundraising for this project so far. But yeah, it was Karina. Was there any more that you wanted to share or ask questions, that or any questions that you felt like weren't answered that you would like to get answered? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Shiny Ray.
Okay. Forrest can hear me. Cool. maybe maybe Karina went out for a second, or I can we can see if maybe they come back, or
I'm sorry, I was kind of hearing, but I was hearing also husky, sorry.
it's okay. Well, I was just attempting to answer some of your questions and also synthesize some of the other information.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that you also like check with Jeffrey. I hear also that you check a little bit with Rodolph. Rodolph, yeah, he's not like in timings like to be in meetings and things like that. He's more like direct, like if he will be like volunteering on helping, even like he has a lot of machines for be working in the bamboo, that we can talk with him if he's available also like to be working with them. But he's more like that, just saying like now we're working. It's not something like he's not so much like to be in meetings. I know that with him.
Beautiful. I'd be more happy to continue finding a time that works for him. It could be something where, you know, just having one-on-one with him. Because I've been even willing to go to his place and because I've worked with him before with promotions for his events, and we have a good connection. So, be down to maybe that's just the way it would be the best to have a discussion in person with him instead of through the phone.
Mhm.
So I'll put that on one of my action items for this week.
Just like the only thing that I didn't hear was that like if we are creating again like this idea as a collective, or if it's still like already like with the little idea of the structures that we were thinking months ago. That's something that I
The design that
didn't hear that.
the design that we already have that Jeremiah proposed, I've incorporated that in the initial design that and I can actually I think there's pictures of that in the chat of that design. If not, I can add them. But
Oh, I don't see it.
all right. So there's the design that he came up with, which is like 3 platforms essentially that are in different heights, and they're all kind of pyramid-like shaped with bamboo. And there's between the monkey bars, nets for climbing on some of them, a space for slack line, and the nice thing about this initial design was what we were, already trying to get donations for, and as far as materials, and we do have essentially based off Jeremiah's, requests for materials, we have the amount of materials that he believed was necessary to build it. However, yeah, because he's not here to lead the project of his design, I've just in opening the discussion, also wanted to share the possibility for others to share their designs, and then maybe they'll incorporate this design into essentially a larger design in the future or something, because
Yeah, I think that like having something that really allows for expansion or like just more to be added after the base is really cool, and then you don't really have to focus on more. You could just understand that there's just a lot of extra space, but there's a good foundation. I think that would be and I see what, I don't know what that is over that body of water, but is that just like something that people climb across, like some body of water, or what is that?
Yeah, that was our kind of just awareness of the water basin that's on the property, and making sure that that is being seen.
Oh, so it's not a pond.
Yeah, no, it could be just like that's the area of like where the swale would be, or
Oh,
in
okay.
general area kind of.
Because I'm like, yeah, that's not dangerous at all. Kids just like climb across a pond,
I mean,
Maybe
if it's a fun pond to jump in, literally.
maybe
I
if
talked to Mary Soul, and she was telling me that she'd be willing to put funds in if in the design there's a pool, because she really wants a pool. She's like, I will donate money if there's a pool in your design.
if I may,
Yeah.
I'm on my way to drive now, just kind
Yeah.
of like the other meeting. But I would love to reshare what what I shared the other day and what I had saw the first time that I went there. If that's okay to do now, because we're talking kind of about the design and what the ideas are for the design.
Yeah, you haven't gotten a chance to share yet.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
It's basically don't even focus first on the playground equipment. Focus first on creating a space for people to arrive. People like mothers, children, caretakers, people to arrive and have a roof and have a place to just start from. And then from there, I feel like any playground equipment can grow and can be used more. But I feel like just starting with playground equipment is kind of it's like starting with the top of the pyramid. I just don't know who's gonna come and use it right away, especially with the space as it is. There's Dormilona everywhere.
What is it?
Understandable.
Dormiluna?
Yeah.
It's spiky grass.
Uh-huh.
It's pokey. It's definitely one of the
Oh.
first things we would really want to do is actually before any building is, and Forrest shared this before, but like clearing the land with a bulldozer or finding some strategy to remove its roots out of the ground. So
I mean, I totally would love that there's jungle gym and slackline stuff and all this. And I don't really want to stop this from happening. I just feel like it's maybe a bit, yeah. As far as what Yoni said,
No,
something
you're
that can be
good.
built off of. I feel like this is something that can really be built off of more. What I don't want to happen is a bunch of money to go into building a design for playground equipment, and it's not really used so much, and it goes to waste in a couple years because it wasn't well protected from the elements. And I see that that's a possibility if it's not well considered.
that's what we're all here for, consideration. That's for
Yeah, can I go behind him? Can I kind of support him on that? This is
Yeah,
Lisa.
yeah.
So I heard like when you said like from the viewpoint of like the mothers and the children, like the families, right, and other stakeholders. But I'm just hearing you say like this, like the physiological, the physiological standpoint of like its basic functionality. And I just wanted you to know, like, don't feel any sort of way. Like everything you said was 100% valid and is a really good starting point. I'm the new girl. So what I didn't want to do is also come on here and be like, well, did you do this? And did you do that? So I just kind of wanted to take a step back. But I am glad that that was brought up because it shows that I'm not the only one thinking that. So I support you on what you just said.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely, one of the first areas we also want to, incorporate is the sitting area or like, the benches for it to be like a picnic space as well. And it can be, that essentially that is where, it could be something where Jeffrey, for example, leads the first operation, which is creating the seating area, for example. And
It's kind of required to have a roof.
And
it basically
we
needs a
have
roof.
parts, and we have, it would be, you'd of course build the roof first because it's rainy season. And then you then create the area underneath the roof for, because then it would be protected while it rains.
Yeah. And the beauty is, like,
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
The whole playground is planned to be underneath the roof.
We have already 3 by 12 meter tarps that we could use to cover this initial area, for example, of like the benches. And then
I'm happy to donate plastic. I have a roll of greenhouse plastic, and I'm happy to donate it and help create a really good roof. Something that will last a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could use that in a combination, and or because definitely the ones that I've used that Wampa also has used, and a lot of people at Deluz were telling me that some of these it's basically what I got as used outdoor signs, and it's kind of a mixture of canvas with kind of a plastic coating that definitely lasts a long time even to sun exposure. So
I love you guys. I have to go get to work. So I'm really happy to just pop in for another moment and just know that I'm here with you.
let's just give it some love to Boris. Thank you, Boris, for coming.
Yeah, they're hilarious. I did put something in the chat, a question. The logo, since I'm seeing it on the shirt, it seems like that's a go, 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 right? But I just wanted to be sure before I ask for that to be put on the tarps, because I found where I can get extra tarps and stuff too within those sizes. But is it like confirmed that that's going to be the logo? Like, is that now like intellectual property, or is it still like a working art?
As it stands, it's the logo is not patented or
Trademark.
protected.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
I mean, I think if this expanded beyond this one playground, if all of a sudden it was something that we were like, oh, all right, we built this first playground, wow, we just get a whole bunch of more funding to build 3 more, then I think that's when I would start pursuing, I think, making this like a legitimate business.
Yeah, or even just, just an organization, right, for now. But I heard that and the reason why I asked so much is because this is the opener to what's going to be built in the surrounding area, I believe was said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And is it something like about animals? Like, what exactly is being built there? And I was going in and out, so I apologize if I should have retained that better, but the circumstances.
Sorry, didn't catch all that. Which kind of was a little warbled for me. Can you repeat?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure what was said right now. I went in and out again. Sorry, but there was something where this was going to be like the kind of like the first entry that people would see before the other build that's being done next door or within the same vicinity.
Right.
So it's like
Yeah.
there's room for that network effect, right?
Yeah. Essentially, Project Ka is already a property that's been bought that's got a really amazing plan as far as with real estate, with a commercial zone, with a zone for performing artists to come here and train. And a part of that too is they have a part of the project is this thing called 1 foot at a time, and they're going to be essentially allowing people to donate money and it goes towards 1 foot of the protected area of the property, because there's the construction zone, the commercial zone, and then there's like 2/3 of the property which is just protected primary rainforest. And so what the plan is to put trails through this area with installation art that people then donate money towards protecting, you know, square footage of that property. And then they get to see the actual work done towards creating a conscious nature art that creates, you know, a message about living in harmony with nature.
I
And
love
be
that.
part of that be part of watching it happen live, even perhaps.
Yeah, I like that because like my brain goes in different places. So then I was like, okay, so I'd buy some animals that the kids can climb and sit on.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
the
It could be.
outdoor commercialized type. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. I tried to
Okay.
show a documentary during Project Cause kind of think tank event where they brought in a lot of the people who are potential investors to hear out the project. And it was a documentary about Andy Goldsworthy. If any of you have not heard of him, I definitely I'm gonna just share his name on the chat. Just check out if anyone's interested. I could even share with you the video of his documentary. His work is really inspirational. He literally goes into nature and makes art just out of nature. He'll make huge spirals out of icicles that he goes out like 2 a.m. to collect and uses his spit to fuse the icicles together to make a spiral.
Let's go.
And it's just like, and he does huge, different projects that incorporate things he sees as the art of nature, and then going into nature and mimicking the art of nature itself.
Ay, no es cierto.
And
I mean, it's
I see
going,
you can't hear
Tricia.
well,
It's going
Karina.
in and out.
Don't
I'm
worry, this is
sitting down right now.
recorded. Yeah, I can share with you the recording afterwards. Anyone,
Thank you.
I'll put it on the chat.
Okay, so I'll get with you a final list of what will be contributed, because I definitely want to make sure that I'm being, I guess, just correct in things that are chosen, you know, culturally speaking as well. Because for me, I'm like thinking like a kid. I'm like, just put a big dinosaur over there. But honestly enough, Costa Rica actually didn't have dinosaurs, so so it's more like that sort of conversation of checks and balances that I'll definitely ask for. But right now, I'm looking at the tarps, and all of this is commercial grade that I'll be getting for outdoor, for specifically this type of environment. But tarps, what is it? Sort of like animal figurines that kids can climb up on and whatnot. And then also, what about the trash can and park benches?
So trash cans.
Trash can and park bench. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a parking area. You can kind of see an image where that car is next to the. Yeah, I think if I can zoom in actually.
Okay.
Go closer, please. There we go. Or maybe it's kind of that little black square next to the 7.5 meters is a car. And
Okay.
so
Yeah.
this area is already kind of designated as parking. It's probably the area that we will be using as parking. It could be expanded a little bit to the right. I mean, I don't want to take too much of already the park space for more parking necessarily. I guess it's something that could be considered. There's also parking across the street for the cemetery, and there's parking further down the street next to the bus stop. So I think there might be an adequate amount of parking on this main road. As far as with trash, I definitely, yeah, would love to make receptacles for recycling, and then we probably would work alongside with Aura, a system that could expand even the recycling center that already exists here, of incorporating with this space a way that maybe, because every Friday that it's open, that this maybe would have either a volunteer or someone who is supports the space once a month, a year, and then that kind of broken up between 12 individuals or something along those lines. That then they would be maybe coming to collect and empty those bins, and make a really beautiful volunteer system so that we could maintain this space. Yeah, make sure that it doesn't get trashed. I like
Okay.
with the beautiful thing with the recycling center is, you know, we are making sure that 100% of everything that goes into the recycling center gets reused, from glass to metal to plastic. And so we might even have, you know, at the space
A
workshops
compost?
for teaching how you can reuse your trash in different ways, incorporating it into your garden or incorporating it into creating products or planters, things that you might already need that you could create yourself with the leftovers of the containers that were originally containing your food and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. I gotta get this other call. It's 4 o'clock, and they're probably wondering why I'm not on this other Zoom. Oh,
I know
we're
we're
06. Oh
technically
crap.
done. We did it. We had a great meeting. Oh my god.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Well, thank you, everyone. I think it's over now. This is for anyone that is watching out there, the fourth meeting that we've had about this project. And yes, definitely the plan, I think, is beautiful. That, as Forrest shared, perhaps we would focus on this area, which would be potentially the seating bench area. And we could use, I think, the small bamboo that I have specifically for building these benches. I think I'll reach out also to Rodolfo and see if he'd be willing to donate or create potentially benches for this space. And or, you know, maybe I can put some money in his pocket as well. And then, yeah, we would then have potentially the first space created with covered tarps. And well, I'll work further with Alyssa and really considering if tarps is the best way that she can contribute, or if there's other ways she can contribute. Because I think it's so beautiful that she wants to be a part of this. And yeah, it'd be something, just checking in with the materials that we have and confirming based off, you know, this being about, you know, like about maybe even a little bit further. Something like that is like the length of one of the tarps we have. So we gotta pay like around like 3 of those. Oops, that's not. And a little bit further like that. You know, noticing how much we're gonna actually need, because also with these, we're gonna have to, you know, make them overlay. So it's a little bit less surface area than that. But you know, the idea essentially being kind of an A-frame, but then each frame goes to one of the tarps that then goes out to the next level down on either side. Yeah. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Yeah, I love it so much. Yeah, I'm gonna end this call and talk to you all next week.